What is up, you beauties, and welcome back to another episode here from Men Behind the Mitts. I am your host, Big J. Cannot wait to get this episode rolling with you guys. Got a lot to talk about. We do our recap on round one of the Stanley Cup playoffs, do our round two matchups. We kind of change our picks for you guys a little bit there, so we break that down for you as well. We got some coaching changes already happening in the NHL, so we break that down for you as well. And Mitch Marner getting carjacked. My man gets eliminated in round one. 2 days later, he's getting carjacked for the Rove. The boys want the Rove. Tough loss for Mitch Marner. Was not hurt. We break that down for you as well. Glad to have you guys back with us. Let's get going. Men Behind the Mitts, episode number 97. McJesus. Let's go, guys. Oh! Welcome to another episode for Men Behind the Mitts. Guys, don't worry. Summer is almost here. We're cruising right through the playoffs. Episode 97. It's almost conspiracy time. And it's not even conspiracies anymore. It's right there. It's real life. It's right there. It's crazy. Welcome back. Good to see you. How you doing, broski?
What's up, bro? Another epi. McDAVID time, number 97. We're here. Bro. Round one ends. Round two's about to begin. So much is going on in the hockey world. IHF, World Championships. It's just so many of the things.
You said IHF. I thought you said I'm Jeff. I was like,
I'm Jeff.
I was like, there's no way that's what he said. But he said IHF.
Man. Good shit.
Yeah, it's good to be back. My allergies, I'm sorry if I'm sniffling this one, man. I'm getting kicked in the face by the allergies today.
Not repercussions of partying.
No, it's not a good time. These are not good sniffles.
Allergies.
These are sad sniffles. Just kidding. But yeah, so round one, we're just going to jump right into it because, you know, I didn't really do much. We just got to skate.
We skated together a couple of times, stick and puck, and then we did a
little pickup.
Yeah, and then we did a pickup together. That was all right. Got to see a couple of the older, couple guys I haven't seen in a while. That was nice.
The pickup was nice. It was 4-on-4, little 4-on-4 ice hockey. That's always fun. Reminded me, like, I don't know, it's like roller on ice. It's crazy.
I had a lot of fun because I didn't have to try hard, but at the same time, I got to break a sweat.
Yeah, it was a good skate. Like, there was no back checking or anything. But it was just a good skate.
I back check. I'm going to try hard.
Got to work on
two goalies. Like, you can't ask for more, honestly.
Yeah, just getting to work on the hands is pretty much what I appreciate the time. I was like, oh, this is great. You know, trying moves I normally wouldn't try in a competitive situation. You know, usually I'm just a skater. But
it was different for me just because of timing. I was looking to make plays quick, and they weren't developing as fast. There was with pickup, you get guys that are out there for the first time, and obviously, like, we took advantage of that, having guys on our team that didn't because we were setting them up. You know, I had a lot of fun, like telling them, hey, you could be here, be here. So, that, you know, it was good to be back in that kind of atmosphere, going from playing where you're playing with guys that know what they're doing, to be able to, like, not coach, but, you know, assist. You know, hey, man, if you try this, do this.
Yeah, help them see
I love that part of the game.
Me too. Help them see the game.
Exactly.
Explaining why you did that.
Because you see them put their head down, so when they mess up, I'm just like, dude, don't worry about it. You just keep on playing. Like it's not bothering me. Don't think that I'm thinking anything negative about you because you made it. Like, just do this. Just keep going. You know,
it's the ebbs and flows of the game. Yeah, they're not going to have the puck the whole time.
Nope.
You know, most guys barely get to touch the puck, and they do. It's a pass. You know, unless you're like quarterbacking it or whatever. But you know, what happened?
I thought he was dead.
Is it still recording? Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. John McAfee strikes from beyond the grave. That's a wild one, too.
Bro, next level.
Brought down a whole apartment building.
Anyways, back to hockey. Saturday, Sunday, we had a wild weekend of Game 7s.
Dude,
And a lot I did not expect, and a lot I did expect.
Yeah, a couple of.
I think when I go back through and look at all my picks.
Yeah, we got them right here.
Yeah, I got like one wrong.
Let's do it. We got two wrong.
Well, I had two brackets.
Oh, true. We had two wrong.
This bracket I got wrong.
The Men Behind the Mitts bracket only had 2 picks wrong, and that's not bad.
No,
it's not bad.
No.
Well, if you count. Well, I'm going to count my homer pick. I had 3 picks wrong, but that's because I went with my heart instead of facts, which is fine.
It's all right.
Which is fine. But let's touch on this first round real quick. We'll close out the first round. Get you guys caught up to moving on. Who's going to the second round? Then we'll do our matchups there on the second round. But closing out the first round, Avs absolutely swept and murdered the Preds. We were kind of now it's a show. Now it's a show.
We're lighting up the way.
That's right. Avs swept the Preds, 4-game sweepery. Start the bus. Get the boys out of here. What do we? I mean, we know what the Avs are. Do you think they've got a season left? Do you think they've got the mojo to get to keep carrying them on to the Cup? Well, they've been Cup, predicted Stanley Cup winners for the last 2 years.
Without going into too much details about the second round matchup that we're already aware of,
This is just
it's not going to be easy, but they have the team to do it. Sure. Getting that first one under them, I feel like they have a lot of confidence now to build up. Yeah. They just swept the team. They're going to get now a comfortable little break.
Yeah, had some rest.
Yeah, exactly. Be well rested. So, but also that means they haven't been tested. So it's going to be a battle.
Yeah, they kind of cruise through the first round. You don't really get that full playoff speed that these other teams. There's 5 other teams that went, or 5 other matchups that went to 7 games.
Yeah,
this series they were all drawn out. They were all close, tough battling series. Let's jump on, stay in the West over here. We go on to the Wild and the Blues. We both picked the Wild. That did not work out. The Blues ended up winning it in 6 games. I was surprised. I really didn't think the Blues were going to play like that. I really did not think that was going to happen.
It's silly for us to have not thought that because
right?
They have the roster and the coaching has already done it. They know what it takes.
The goaltending as well.
Exactly. Bennington stepped in huge when he came back in between the pipes. And speaking between the pipes, I know they brought in Fleury to win a cup, to chase a cup. That's what his, where he's at in his career. Yeah. But Cam Talbot should have been in there.
Yeah.
He got them there throughout the season before Fleury. He played a hell of a season. And for them to put him on the back burner, kind of, disappointing. Sure. You feel bad for guys like Kiprusoff and Zook, who really played balls out, left it all on the ice. They have a great roster over there, and I really thought this was going to be their year.
I just think I think if they keep building on what they have there, those 2 guys, like you said, get a little bit more depth in there. Help that.
They have speed and youth too.
Yeah.
With Jordan Greenway and Fiala.
They've got the pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah,
this is what we talk about. It takes a couple of years. Like we said, Kiprusoff's only in his sophomore year. The kids definitely continue to progress and upward from here.
Yeah.
So
I think he had a Hattie. He had a Hattie in one of the games.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So to have a hat trick in the playoffs, some guys don't even get goals. They get 20, 30 goals in the regular season, don't even score in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So to show that he in high pressure situations can still excel where you need him to, he's worth the money they're paying him. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And closing out the Calgary Flames, Dallas Stars.
Wow, that was a series.
7-game series again. Calgary getting the best of Dallas in Game 7 and moving on to the second round. Dallas really can't. We wanted to talk about Dallas's goaltending.
Ottinger was a complete stud, bro.
Yeah.
First of all, that Game 7 was unreal. I didn't expect Dallas to even make it that far. So we have to applaud
Dallas to get into the playoffs.
Yes, that's true. We talked about that. I have to applaud Dallas on their efforts for giving Calgary a run because Calgary was almost a shoo-in for a lot of people to make a cup run.
Absolutely.
They have a solid squad. Ottinger, though, really is the one that kept them in that game. I think he had a .9596 save percentage in a Game 7, set a NHL record for Game 7 save percentage. And he was lights out. That entire game, he was lights out. The goals that kind of got by him were beauties. Matthew Tkachuk with an absolute snipe right over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Only way that was going in. And then the game winner in OT, Johnny Hockey, another snipe.
Man, I haven't seen someone smile that big in a long time.
Yo,
like he was that kid is truly enjoying.
Yeah, and then you see the video of him and Sean Monahan.
The big hug.
Yeah, dude, bro. That's just wild. And you see the things that happen behind the scenes. You know, these guys are going through a lot as far as mentally and physically to chase their dreams. And I know we look at it like this is their job, but like there's a lot tied up in this, right? So huge shout out to Calgary. Moving on.
Well, and the whole Tkachuk family.
Brady Tkachuk was there.
Absolute beauty.
Oh yeah, in the stands, going wild for his brother. That's so huge to see. That Ottawa doesn't have an issue with that or anything like that. That's awesome.
Love, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no shit, right? But no, Calgary is moving on, and I think they kind of starting to catch some
absolutely
steam here.
And their goaltending as well. Markstrom playing outstanding.
Yeah, he was a .94. I think he was right under Ottinger as far as setting a game 7 or best of 7 save percentage.
Their game 7 handshake between Ottinger and Markstrom, man, you can see Markstrom just praising.
Yeah, I think he was quoted on saying like you're going places, keep it up. And then Ottinger was quoted on after saying like to be that close, like he wants it more now than more than ever.
Which is beautiful. It's what you want. You want that hunger, you want that fire. Yeah. So
and to see what Dallas went through with Doby, and then they had Holtby, you really thought maybe they had something there. Both those guys didn't work out, and then Ottinger comes in and is a stud. Crazy. And I told you, I preach this time and time again. You don't give goalies big long-term contracts.
5 years.
Look at Doby. Completely irrelevant, collecting the bag. Unreal.
Just a dent in this team's cap.
Yeah.
And then especially for Holtby not to work out, he's been bouncing around the last couple of years.
Injuries too. It's been a battle. It's tough.
I think he's plagued at this point in his career, which really sucks. I mean, he's already bought his retirement home, so it looks like things are winding down for old Holt. But moving forward with them, I think they've got a hell of a chance with this Dallas roster. They're getting up there in age though. Their core is getting older. They've got to bring
Ben and Sagan aren't as young studs as they used to be. Definitely were game changers and completely relevant for this series. But not enough.
Not enough. Moving on to the Edmonton Oilers and LA Kings.
Wow.
Oilers got it done, son. They got the ticket stamped to round 2 in 7 games. Nonetheless, McDavid putting on an absolute show in game 7.
Yeah.
Really carrying the boys.
Yeah, definitely. I think he really – this is exactly what you expect when you you pay a high-level player. This is what you're paying him for, not just regular season, but to come in and be a difference maker in playoff games that matter. And McDavid put the team on his shoulders and really stepped up from not only just goal scoring and playmaking, but physicality as well.
Yeah,
he played
put the body on a couple guys.
He was a huge difference maker in that game. The fact that it went to 7 is a little worrisome, though. I know LA has some players. They got a decent roster.
They were all striking
but
the same.
It's also fair to say they're kind of on the back end of their tenure. Dustin Brown playing the last game he's ever going to play in the NHL. Salute to him, a great American player there. Jonathan Quick, also older guy. Kopitar, a stud, having a great year, but also on the back end as far as age goes, in comparison to some of the young guys, right? Yeah. So to see what they were able to do to take Edmonton to 7 is a little worrisome for Edmonton going to the next round. But I really like their chances. Vander Kane has really been a stud. That's been a great signing for them.
He's been buzzing this postseason. Finish out the season strong, regardless of all the crap in the media going on, man.
Which is crazy because there's a lot of fans. I think I saw about 20 of them that had pictures of his wife on the glass during warm-ups.
That's so
just
brutal,
so brutal,
man.
Right? Like your personal life is in your face, even at the game. You can't even escape it. Like for us, we go play hockey, we get to forget about life.
That's
tough. Bro. So tough.
But they're clicking and buzzing right now. I'm excited to see what the Oilers are going to do here in the second round and see, how far they can go here. It's really up to them. I think they've got a good matchup, which is going to be the Battle of Alberta. We'll jump into that when we get to round 2.
So exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's jump out to the Eastern Conference. Let's go ahead and just get out of the way. We're just going to talk about it. We're going to pull the thorn out of the paw. Florida beating the Caps in, 6 games? Yeah, 7 games. That's right. I'm sorry, 7 games. We were wrong on that pick. I mean, you were right with the Florida, but I went with the Caps here. It's okay. In my opinion.
Didn't want to hear I was right on that one.
Yeah.
Didn't want to hear I was right.
Just on a quick synopsis, the Caps played a lot better than I expected them to. And really, they outplayed Florida the majority of that series.
For sure. If you were to talk about the analytics of the game, of this series, prior to the series, people would have picked Washington. Like, Washington won. And they went 17 for 17 on the PK, I believe, or 18 for 18 on the PK. Won most of the face-off battles. It just couldn't hold it together when it came to stopping the scoring and the waves of the Florida Panthers. A few of those goals, especially in Game 7, like Giroux's goal, was pretty soft.
Yeah, that's the thing is that the Capitals had the majority of shots on net as well for I think 4 games. But man,
just couldn't beat Bob.
Bob played outstanding, and then once Florida scores, it's like a fucking tidal wave. They just keep coming, and that's why they have an average of 4 goals a game scored. And it was tough, especially going into our goalie matchups. V got the start, switched over to Sammy, rode Sammy out, which I think was the better option in the first place. I felt like he should have been the starter, but we had to give V a chance. He carried us, half the season. But Caps moving on. I think there's definitely a lot of bottom 6 movement going on in the Caps. I even see some top 6 movement. Nicky with the hip injury, that they just came out the other day saying that is not going to ever be fully healed.
Yeah.
So I think his time has come to an end, which honestly, we've talked about it before. Nicky's not a guy we ever wanted to trade, but it is time to move on, in my opinion. Watching his speed, you can't pass up on his skill set, but the speed is not there.
No.
And you can tell him watching him skate, he never really had a pop. He was just skating,
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think he's one of those guys that if he's it's either going to play for Washington or he's done, which is huge. He's not going to look to be moved, which would be a nice $9 million cap space.
It's free up space.
Yeah. So, it does suck, Ovi didn't take that team, pay cut essentially while he chases the record. We could have made some bigger moves. I think the big eye opener for me, obviously outside of goaltending, which I've been pissed off since the trade deadline. We should have brought in a vet and kept one of the guys. That plain and simple.
We're never hungry trades.
But is John Carlson. John Carlson out there for 10 goals in this series. That's huge. That's your number 1 D guy, your D1 pairing. And he left Martin Fay-Harvey out there to dry a few times. I think John Carlson's time, I hate to say it, might be up in Washington if it was up to me. He has not looked stellar the last few seasons. His back checking is disgusting. His playmaking ability just isn't he's a Mike Green in my eyes right now. The way he's been playing this series, he was really exposed, and it kills us. Schultz as well, too old, got to go. The game's too fast for that.
Absolutely. But I was speaking of Fay-Harvey though. I thought he played excellent in the playoffs.
Yes,
he was
1,000%.
one of our best skaters.
Yeah, produced, got a couple goals, also shut down on D. But when you look at the Washington Capitals moving forward, not only is goaltending an issue, maybe cutting out some fat, i.e. age, older guys, it's goal scoring. You break down the goal scoring for the Washington Capitals, and after Ovi at 50, it's Kuzi, it's Sheary, it's Hathaway, it's Carlson, it's Orlov. You need more than just Ovechkin as a goal scorer. And I think now is the time to start looking for a goal scorer. Start phasing in the new goal scorer, start phasing out Ovi, right?
Yeah.
We need someone that can produce goals. If we didn't have Ovi, we'd be a shit as far as goal scoring. He's putting up a lot of our points for us, and that's not great. That's not great considering his tenure's almost over.
Yeah,
we need some goal scorers.
And Wilson's loss in the playoffs was big.
Huge,
lower body injury. Him not having them out, him not being on the ice, you could tell Florida was taking advantage of,
especially physicality
wise. They had no one really to answer. We have Hathaway and stuff, but you're not giving a guy like that all the time.
Yeah,
that you would give someone.
He's
like
a
Wilson.
game changer. You think twice about making that hit and doing this and that, but not only that but he can bring the game as far as passing and scoring too. Had a career year in those brackets. Tom Wilson missing. Real eye opener on how much value he brings to this team, and I don't see him going anywhere.
No, not at all. I see him. Yeah, he'll have a letter here soon. In my opinion,
there's been a lot of mock-up trades where he's involved with high player names like William Nylander, Toronto, things like that. But when you look at him, it's not worth it. Even if you bring in a great goal scorer, you're just not going. There's no one out there that does what Wilson does. Brings in the intimidating aspect as far as size and strength, but also can wheel and deal and produce points. That's huge. Plays PK, plays PP. And his first line can play with your top guys. So that's huge. Irreplaceable.
I agree. We're going to go into more depth on the Capitals in the future episode, probably when the season's over, do a really good breakdown and what we see as far as cleaning house and stuff like that. There's a lot on the table.
Yeah, especially the coach too. The coach, is he going to be the boss bench? His contract's coming up. So there's a lot to talk about for Washington.
We have enough. I'm done. We need to get a coach and lock in. You know what I mean? I feel like we're always bouncing around.
I think Laviolette can get it done. I think the GM has to make some moves with the roster. Give him a better roster.
That's the thing is they haven't been aggressive enough.
Laviolette came in with an order winning Washington Capitals. So it's a tough one to kind of make something happen.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on to one of the probably I don't want to talk about this series either. The Toronto Maple Leafs and the Tampa Bolts.
go to Game 7.
Game 7.
And I believe Toronto was 0-9 prior to this in Game 7s.
Yeah.
Or not even Game 7s, just elimination
games. Yeah. Here's my thing. The Leafs lost. Brutal, absolutely brutal, in my opinion. Sucks to be in the Leafs organization. Sucks to be a Leafs fan. But I tell you what, man, after watching all these other series and watching the refs make the calls that they made, they let Tampa Bay get away with murder. They really did. The holding of Matthews, the tripping of Tavares, and just the game that they got murdered. They really should have made some calls. Toronto would have won it in 6 if they would have had the whistle. If the whistle would have been out, in the overtime, they lost that game in Game 6 in overtime, and he was literally, I think the guy was holding Matthews halfway down the ice. Yeah. Like, it's just, I'm not one to complain. I'm not one to complain about refs, but they destroyed this series. They really let them play too much, in my opinion, and Tampa took advantage of that because they knew they weren't calling it.
Yeah,
and Tampa took advantage of that, ended up winning the series. Now, no disrespect to Tampa because Vasilevsky played incredible. Stammer, Hedman. I mean, this is a Stanley Cup roster on Tampa.
These
so
boys,
they earned the win, but man, tough break for the Leafs.
Yeah, 2 things to be said here. First and foremost, you have to applaud Tampa Bay Lightning. They did the little things right. They all got in the lanes.
Yeah,
they all blocked shots. They all finished their hits. All the little things you need to do to win. On the other side of things, though, I think this is just growing pains for Toronto. Without ever doing it, it's hard to do. It's kind of like, job experience. You can't get that job unless you have experience, and no one's going to give you the experience, right? When you're job hunting and you're younger. They haven't won playoff series. They don't have a lot of guys that have on that roster.
No.
So it's tough to go into those things as far as mentally. That's weighing in on them mentally. I think Shanahan's already said he's going to keep the GM and the coach in place. I think we're going to see some mix-up maybe with the roster, but he said they're not going to make changes to make changes. I like their roster. If I'm getting rid of somebody, it's William Nylander. There's a lot of times where you saw Willie that did not leave it all out there. And I think I don't care how many goals he scores, if he's not battling for every puck,
right,
especially in a playoff game.
He draws a big bank, in my opinion, as well. It's good trade bait.
Yeah.
Because Willie, he's still, in my opinion, he's an underrated player. Not this year. Last year was a big time underrated player. Kind of sneaks in there, and gets the job done. But tough not seeing him excel when he was needed.
Yeah. But then you have guys like Bunting who came in and played stellar, right? Even in the playoffs, he made a difference, left it all out there. So you can't blame it on Matthews or Marner this time. They, like you did before, they didn't show up. They
played it, and Campbell played
well. I think he's done in Toronto though. Unfortunately, wow. I really do. I think Soup will get traded. He'll get moved.
That sucks. He was a big quarter. He was a big reason that team made it as far as they did.
I agree with you, but I really do believe that maybe Toronto has a more veteran goaltender and can make a couple of those saves. Not that he gave up weak ones, right, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. If they would have had a Vasilevsky or a Bob.
Yeah, but man, the goalie market is tough. As the Caps are going through this woes, I mean, the goalie market is not what it used to be.
No.
There's literally maybe 15, 20 top tier starters. Yeah. The rest everyone's just kind of in the pot.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And if you don't have,
but there's also goaltenders that are making a name for themselves, right? We saw in Dallas, Ottinger just comes in and plays lights out and has an NHL record, series.
Is that the Dobby effect? Is it a one season? It's crazy how these guys, with this off time, it's crazy what can happen in the matter of 3 months.
Because we saw guys like in the past, Matt Murray comes in for Pittsburgh, young gun, wins it for him. Jordan Bennington comes in, wins it for him. Yeah. And then we don't see much of them as far as that. Bennington obviously looking to make a name for himself again here, but Murray's in Ottawa and he's not really doing shit. So it's very interesting to see with goalies, and that's why we've had this talk about signing goalies to long-term deals.
Yes, absolutely. So that was one of my biggest. I'm not even going to call it an upset because it's the Bolts. What do we really expect here? I think the Leafs winning would have been an upset.
It's going to be tough for them going into the second round though. Tampa Bay, they lost Braden Point, and he is a huge benefactor to this team.
Absolutely. He's so quick, he's so fast. And he makes such great split-second decisions with the puck. I mean, he really
great
knows,
IQ. Yeah,
he knows what he's doing out there. It's great.
It's crazy. He's in the pros.
Moving on to the Carolina Hurricanes and the Boston Bruins series. The Canes got it done in 7. And wow, what a series. That was one of the most physical, one of the most that was one of the best series that we watched, I think. I mean, just between the physicality, the goal scoring, the puck movement, you never know what you're going to get from Boston. You really don't. And we talked about the scores back and forth with them last week. What an incredible series.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you there. Boston really gave the Hurricanes a run for their money. Ultimately, though, the better team won. The Hurricanes are an elite team up and down the roster.
They are.
So I'm excited to see their next matchup with them. I really think the Hurricanes have everything you need to win. It's just a matter of making it happen now.
Yeah, they've got to get it done, and they've got the solid roster for it. They've got the goaltending. Svechnikov, Aho up front, Rantno really carrying them.
D'Angelo in the back end too. That's been huge, which is going to be a huge factor when you look at Carolina's roster going into round 2 and who they're playing. A lot of former players playing their old team in the round 2. This is going to be a fun series.
Well, I just wanted to check out Rantno's goals against were 2.37. I mean, that's stellar, especially going against the Boston in that series. He played 5 games of those 7. Yeah. So that's an incredible.
Boston took him to 7 games, and to do that alone is tough work. Have we seen the last of the power line of Marchand, Bergie, and Pasta? A lot of rumors about Bergeron going to Montreal, things like that.
They've got some age. They're battling some age in Boston as well. Their top line's getting a little older, which is crazy to think because Pasta and those guys they're in their top. It seems like they're still in their top 4.
Pasta younger on the side as far as age is really a game player. I don't see him going anywhere. He's an elite player, but Marchand and Bergie, you have to really start thinking, if you're going to move him, you need to move him before it's too late.
Man, but Marchand's still he's still a top 6, top 3 on half the NHL rosters right now.
Yeah, he's another Tom Wilson. I know his size is a little bit smaller, but he's a guy that can get under the skin of your top players, but at the same time go down and make elite playmaking abilities.
Yes, hacking the goalies, getting a little goalie mix up here.
Yeah, we saw Pasta punch the goalie in the face. Coming down. It was a battle.
There's nothing off limits for Boston, which is what I really truly love about that team. Is they are afraid of nothing and no one.
Yep.
It's totally a Boston mentality.
Yep.
I do love that. But
Swayman after losing is now headed over to join Team USA in the World Championship. So
there we go.
We'll see what happens there. The next one though was wow.
Yes, this is one of my favorite series, considering my Stanley Cup champions were in this one here. But the Rangers taking on the Pens, getting it done in 7. What a battle! Rangers came out on top, really earned the win in my opinion, but also the Pens were playing without Crosby there in Game 7 as well. Possible another concussion for the kid. Who even knows how much longer of a career this guy's got left? It's almost tough to say,
There was a lot going on in that game.
Yeah.
Player's helmet got ripped off right before the game-winning goal. And with the new rule, that player now has to leave the ice and they're a man down. Yari comes in and plays Game 7 with a broken foot. That's unreal. Sidney Crosby obviously coming back from, concussion protocol. He was obviously still injured.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh was kind of just doing everything they can to piece together
they were
to get to the next round.
They were in limp mode.
And the Rangers took advantage of that and won that one. But it still wasn't without a fight. They went to overtime, and the bread man got it done for the Rangers.
Stellar roster out of New York, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Stellar roster.
I have to tip my hat to Pittsburgh. I don't like either one of these teams personally. Great rosters this year, though, but Pittsburgh really battled.
They did.
And we're already starting to see the side effects of what's going to happen with that roster. We're already hearing that Letang and Malkin both were offered low-budget deals. Sidney Crosby was upset about it, and Malkin already talking about maybe going KHL or going to another franchise.
Yeah.
The fact that Malkin and Letang may not be Pittsburgh Penguins next season is pretty wild. Yeah, exactly. But they got young guns like Getzel over there that can get it done. That kick. He kicked the puck up and smacked it out of the air. That's nasty. You could tell he's been playing with Sidney Crosby.
He had the best playoff run, in my opinion, for the Pens. He was their go-to guy. Gumso literally had a goal in every game, multiple assists in every game.
Yeah, he was
really their star shining, especially with Crosby was going on. Malkin really not finding a great stride. Man, Malkin is such a presence on the ice too. It's really mind-blowing.
Yeah, he's a big body. Can play a physical game, but also has the wheels where he can, he had that breakaway goal and can finish.
Yeah, he can score from anywhere too. He's one of those guys where he's got the capability to score from
lethal
anywhere.
shot. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But the Rangers are moving on. Excited to see what this team's going to do here in the remainder of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Goaltending, they've really got to figure that out. I think on New York. I think that's their only.
Shesterkin was a little shaky this year. Shortcoming. Considering he's in the top 3 for Vezina, I wasn't expecting that, but look at how round 1 went for every single team.
Yeah.
Teams we were expecting to roll did not roll. Teams that weren't expected to get rolled were. Nashville was completely irrelevant against Colorado. A lot was going on for this round 1.
And Adam Fox is Zibanejad having great series over there. The great video of Zibanejad getting the iPad ripped out of his hand and spiked on
there. Chris Kreider, he was quoted on saying that he just need to keep shooting the puck. Don't watch the tape. Don't get in your head. Just play your game.
Yeah, it was an emotional thing, but he was just trying to take that leadership role, which is great because he just wanted to see what he was like. I just want to see what happened on the. He's like, you don't need to know what happened.
Keep shooting. Keep shooting. Yeah, keep doing it. Keep doing it.
It's wild to see, especially professionals when they speak to each other like that. But then you think about other professions, and that's how it's pretty much done.
Yeah, and also the side of things that these guys are together all the time, so they know where they are, comfortability. Like if I were to speak to you a certain way, so I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? But, they're boys, you know? Yeah. So definitely.
Excited to see what happens for the Rangers, before we move on. So they're moving on to round 2 as well. And before we do the round 2, before we do the matchups and our breakdowns there, touch on some things that are already happening in the league. Before we jump over there, we got some NHL coaching staff changes already.
Yeah.
Who we got moving around right now?
Bruce Boudreau signing long-term. It's not long-term, but he's signing with Vancouver. He's not going anywhere.
Good lockdown for Vancouver, in my opinion. He really turned that team around. I think he can do things with this team. Give him a couple years.
Las Vegas Golden Knights fired their coach. This is the 3rd coach in their 5 seasons.
Done, son.
What's going on, Vegas? You bums.
But how much hype was there? I want to touch on Vegas real fast. How much hype and disappointment was there on Vegas for them not making the playoffs? Welcome to the fucking league. A lot of people
put the blame on Eichel and things like that. But Eichel came in off an injury after not skating for almost a year and played with a broken finger or hand.
Still injured.
Come on, bro. Everyone wants to point the finger at the superstar and he didn't work out, blah, blah, blah. I don't know why they fired the head coach, Peter DeBoer, but we'll see who they sign now. Also, New York Islanders firing Barry Trotz and promoting his assistant, Lane Lambert. Washington has already personally seen what happens with that.
Yeah.
Reardon, right? Todd Reardon, right? Reardon.
Step back to the assistant coach on the Pens bench.
Yeah, catching an L with Pittsburgh, so it doesn't really work out in their favor. We'll see. I don't know what Lou Lamorielli was thinking, but we'll see what happens. Lane Lambert getting the start though as head coach.
And Trotz was seen in Washington at a Mystics game. They're already talking about, is he coming back to Washington?
A lot of hype saying he's going to Philly.
Philly? Okay, I was going to say he had an interview in Winnipeg is the last thing I saw.
Yep,
so, him in Philly
too.
God, why has he got to be on the East?
Winnipeg, too, could be deadly because they're close to making something happen.
Trotz is a coach, man. He's a genius. He's a genius. He really is.
Yeah, it's a shame he didn't get it done with the Islanders. Made a great run, though. Had great teams. Roster, apparently there was a lot of issue, though, with superstar player, which we kind of heard with Washington, too.
Yeah. I think
superstars don't get along with Barry Trotz, and I think that's because he expects more out of it.
He does, and Trotz he takes by the reins. Yeah. It's Trotz's team, and when he doesn't like the fucking off, basically, let's just put it that way. He wants, if you're the top guy, he wants you to be the hardest worker.
Yep.
That's pretty much what he wants. And some of these guys aren't like that,
nope.
So expect, and back, flashback to Washington days, Trotz is talking to everyone. Ovechkin's over here ripping slap shots. He's like, fucking focus,
Yeah.
And if he doesn't have the full grasp of the team, it's almost like he doesn't want to be there as well.
Yeah, no, completely. So we'll see what happens there. In other news, though, outside coach firings, Mitch Marner in Toronto.
What happened to old Mitchie?
Robbed at gunpoint, carjacked at gunpoint.
The range, bro. They wanted the Rover triple black.
Well, we definitely know they weren't looking for any rings.
Here's the worst. The worst part, not the worst part, but when they arrested the guys who did it, they're like, "Oh, we didn't even know it was Mitch Marner." Like they had.
Well, that would have made a difference. They probably would have done the aggravated assault. You fucking
yeah, punched him one good one. But it's crazy that it's like hey, man, let me just get your car. It's fucking wild.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine losing Game 7 and then a couple days later getting robbed at gunpoint. Like, jeez, that's a tough life, man.
I'm like, I gotta go. We're done here in Toronto. We're fucking out of here.
Yeah, but luckily he was not hurt.
Yeah.
Was at Tuesday's exit meetings for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So we'll see what happens up there.
Really an elite player. We talked about him earlier last week, and I think we touched on it all this week. But wow, what a special guy! I remember just texting you, just being like, he's special.
When comparison to Ovechkin and Backstrom with Matthews and Marner.
Yeah.
But Marner is next level. He's 10 times better than Backstrom ever was.
Yeah. Hands down. And I mean,
he'll win a cup.
Yeah.
He'll win a cup. Absolutely. Even if he has to leave Toronto. He's a guy that he could be the star.
And he's still so young. He's still so young.
His playmaking ability is unreal. His vision, his IQ, his back checking, his effort. I would take him on Washington.
Absolutely. He's pretty penny.
He might be top 5 for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. We should do that with the end of the season. We should recalibrate our
because we did 10. It before. Yeah, we should do it again. Because every year is a different year.
I mean, every week is a different week.
Yeah,
in my opinion, now, especially in hockey. I mean, we talk about it all the time, but you're literally getting the best of the best, and every year it gets better.
Yeah, because you saw guys like Florida and Anthony Duclair getting benched, healthy scratch for Game 7, even though he was one of their second or third best goal scorer.
Yeah,
so
crazy.
That's wild.
And really, Florida battling. I had a conversation with someone battling. Florida making it and doing the things they are this year, making waves. They had no coach for half the season.
Yeah,
a lot of scandal going on down there in Florida. And I had a conversation about that the other day, and it's just like they're really doing the thing. They're on cruise control, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
I think they're going to catch some momentum too after this Washington series. It really got things firing now. They're going to move on.
They got such a deadly power play.
Yeah,
all 5 of those names. You're like, oh, how do we ever stop it? But I tell you what, hats off to Washington for shutting down that power play.
Taking them to a Game 7. They weren't expected to do that, especially as a wild card team.
Yeah, they were hated on. The Washington caught a lot of hate. I wish we would have won it, obviously, as a fan, but just to put that to silence and that. But who knows about round 2? But I mean, the guys did not look bad against Florida. I will say that over and over again. And we truly outplayed them. I know I've already said
missing some star players too. Hagelin out, Wilson out, things like that.
And Hagelin, we'll talk about that in a future episode, but I mean, his career is pretty much, it might be over at this point. He got an eye injury in practice.
Never heal.
Yeah, never heal. You can't have a guy in a top tier sport in a game like hockey where you don't have both eyes working 100%.
Yep, it's unfortunate.
So tough loss there for Carl Hagelin. Wishing the best for him and his family, but another big loss to Washington, in my opinion.
Yep.
Slowing down, but man, fourth line forever. That guy's an absolute grinder.
Yep. Second round though, coming in hot. Bunch of big matchups we have going here. Battle of Florida, Battle of Alberta.
Oh man,
so much hockey to still be played.
Yeah, let's jump out to the West. We'll start over here in the West. Let's start with the Colorado Avalanche and the Blues. That series is underway. Game 2 being played tonight. What a matchup for the Blues. We know the Avs cruise controlled through the first round, in my opinion. They're up 1 game already over the Blues. Do we see
it in overtime? Yeah, I have Colorado in this one.
Yeah,
I have Colorado in 6.
Colorado in 6.
St. Louis has what it takes to win, and they might actually take it against Colorado because they have it. But I just have to pull for Colorado. They're just such a deadly team. They're a juggernaut. They've had great goaltending as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
I'm going Avs in 7. I think the Blues, after watching this first round or the first game going to overtime, the Blues aren't going down without a fight. This is going to be a good series. This is a fast series as well. An exciting one, man. There's a lot of talent on both these rosters. McKinnon doing McKinnon things, Makar doing Makar things, which is fantastic. And there's a lot to peel away in this matchup. And this is one of the best matchups in my opinion. And you're going to see a lot of speed and a lot of goals.
Yep, completely agree.
I'm a big fan of this one, and I'm excited to see what the Avs can do. I feel like the pressure's on them. I feel like the pressure is more on Avs than it is on the Blues at this point. Yeah. So
and the Avs know what it takes. I mean, the St. Louis Blues know what it takes to win.
Man,
O'Reilly is a stud. It was a stud in the first round. You can expect great things out of him out of this series. Bring Shen, all these players. There's so much depth in the St. Louis lineup. Kyrou stepping up big as well. So these guys know what it takes to win.
Absolutely. I just wanted to check on the goalie situation in Colorado. Kemper with the eye, coming back.
Yeah, playing big for Colorado. That's a big deal. Goaltending, right?
Oh, especially this deep, man. The closer we get to the big time, that these guys really do matter. But, it's going to be a good battle there. I'm excited to see where that one's going to go. You got them in 6. I got them in 7. Let's go on to the Battle of Alberta. I know you're really excited about this matchup here in the second round. Calgary Flames taking on the Edmonton Oilers. First game, we're recording on Wednesday. First game's tonight, so we'll have the outcome later tonight. But what are we seeing out of this matchup?
This is going to be an intense physical matchup, dude. This is going to be wild. The hockey gods couldn't have planned this any better. The Battle of Alberta, arguably the best rivalry in the NHL as of now. Both these teams are juggernauts. Both these teams have star players: Tkachuk, Gaudreau, Markstrom, Toffoli. All right, just to name a few, Mangiapane. Then you on the other side, and you got Draisaitl, McDavid, Kane, Nugent Hopkins, Nurse. So this is going to
– and Mike Smith playing big in between the pipes.
Yeah, also true. If I had to pick, though
Mike Smith's 40.
It's going to be Calgary in 7.
Wow.
I'm taking Calgary in 7, and this is why. Edmonton got taken to 7 against LA. I know the Flames did too against the Stars, but I think if the Stars were to play LA, the Stars would beat LA.
I think
so. In that aspect, I have to lean more towards Calgary. Calgary also really got it going towards the end. That game 7, they really stepped out. They had chance after chance after chance. I think Calgary's going to roll into this one with a little pep in their step.
I'm actually going the same way. I'm going 7 games Calgary as well. I think the way they finished against Dallas, these boys are coming off. They're riding off a big victory.
Mm-hmm.
As is the Oilers, but it's different. I feel like you said, Johnny Hockey's really buzzing. You got Markstrom really buzzing in net for these guys. Tkachuk wanting this more than anything. You've got a lot of desire on this team. Same with the Oilers, but I just feel like the momentum is going to be behind Calgary on this one. And I feel like with the Battle of Alberta, when it does get a little physical, I think Calgary's got the edge on the physicality as well over the finesse of the Oilers. But here's the thing: we cannot count out. You already mentioned him. McDavid, can't count him out. Nurse, can't count him out. Draisaitl, we know what these guys are capable of. Vander Kane really coming on hot as of late. But can Mike Smith keep them in the game against this all-out Calgary offense?
Yeah, when you look at the goalie battle, Markstrom has been a stud all season. Had the most shutouts this year. Yeah. Like I said, almost had an NHL record for game 7, Battle of 7 save percentage after Ottinger with the Stars. So Markstrom is a stud between the pipes. Arguably could be a contender for the Vezina in my eyes. So with that being said, when you look at those things, I think he stands a big test. Can Connor McDavid, do what he did against LA against this Calgary team? Maybe so, because there's a little more fire in him now. This is personal because of the Battle of Alberta. He's seen these guys regularly, but it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot more than just Draisaitl McDavid to get over that.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's what I think is going to be the real deciding factor of this. Is it sucks that both these Canadian squads are playing each other. I'm a fan of the Battle of Alberta. It's an exciting matchup, but I almost wish why are they? Let's play someone else just to keep the Canadian squads going, because the Canadian squads have not won a cup in some time.
Yeah, they had 3 in there, and it's down to 2, and the 2 are battling each other. So
which is crazy. It's absolutely crazy in my mind. And that's the thing, is that the Canadian hockey, in my opinion, has really turned around with Toronto, Edmonton, and the Flames. Ottawa's been fizzling for a while. They need to catch something going.
Been on and off. Yeah, Vancouver has a squad, but now they've secured a coach, so hopefully they can turn things around.
So, I'm anxious to see what this is going on. It's cool that it's a Canadian matchup. It's staying all north, which is pretty cool in my opinion. But definitely seeing the Flames coming out on top on this one.
Yep.
I'm excited for that. Can't wait to watch Game 1 tonight. Jumping over to the East, I don't know which matchup I want to talk about because both of these are pretty exciting. We got a Battle of Florida. Let's jump into that. We have the Florida Panthers taking on Tampa Bay Lightning Bolts. Pretty exciting matchup here. What are we thinking? What's your breakdown on the Bolts Panthers here, Zach?
Listen, I have Florida winning the Cup. So I'm taking Florida in 7 against Tampa, but it's going to be tough. And it's hard to say that, and this is why Tampa has done everything you're supposed to win. We said this before. They did it against Tampa, and they're down Braden Point now. That's huge. Yeah. Not a game changer, but it's huge.
Big loss.
But these guys know what it takes to win. Kucherov, Palat, they just go down the roster, right? Cirelli, all these guys know what it takes to win, not only once but twice, and that's an advantage towards Tampa. But I think Florida has the roster if anyone's going to do it. Okay. Bob's been stellar in net.
Yeah.
So that's also been huge.
This is our first disagreement in the second round. I'm taking Tampa. I think Tampa's going to lock it down in 7. This is going to go 7 again. I don't always love calling a long series, but this is going to be a battle here. And the reason why I'm getting there is because they've already played one game. Tampa won the first one. They're up 1-0, and just the way Tampa picked apart Florida's defense with the passing, Florida's got to readjust. I'm anxious to see them in game 2. They've got to readjust. They got to go to the drawing board and figure this out. This team is a lot faster than the Capitals, in my opinion. So they've got to readjust. They've got to figure out what matchups they've got to do and how to shut down that net, because Tampa's passing is on point. They are tic-tac-toe type of guys, and they can get it done. And they made Bob look silly a few times in game 1.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there. Tampa's coming off a series against a high firing offense like the Toronto Maple Leafs, whereas Florida's coming off Washington, who's a more mediocre roster.
Yeah.
Not really fast, but like that. So this is completely switcher for them. There will be an adjustment period. The 4-1 final is not a testament to who the Florida Panthers are. Anthony Duclair coming in off the healthy scratch from game 7 in the last series and gets the goal for Florida. Florida had lots of chances that game. They had opportunities. They just couldn't bury them. I think you're right.
He's a beast for Tampa as well, man. We talk about how good he's playing, how big he is. I mean, he's playing shutdown hockey right now for these guys.
No, you're completely right. And you're right when you said the Florida's going to have to make some changes. I think they're going to. They had to do it against Washington, and when they did, they excelled. Yeah. I think it may take a game or two, same against this Tampa Bay Lightning team. But when they do, it's a wrap, because when this team starts firing, the analytics don't lie. They can really tear it up.
They know how to get – once the puck falls, it never stops for them.
And there's got to be a chip on their shoulder, because last year, who they get knocked out by? Tampa Bay. Yeah. So they got to kind of battle for this one. They've added Giroux. They've added some more depth to this team this year.
And Carter Verhaeghe really stepping up for them.
Wow.
I mean he made the Capitals look silly, in my opinion.
Yeah, Uyghur too on defense has been a stud. They have some really good talent there. If they can't get it done this year, I expect Florida still to be a contender for the next few years.
No, absolutely. If they can't, and they've got the roster to do it this year, in my opinion, with, like you said, the addition of Giroux. Burbowski's playing top-notch hockey. We haven't seen him play this great in a couple years, but we know the head case that is Bob, but I'm hoping he can hold together through these playoff series. This is going to be a fast one. I was excited. Game 1 was really, really good in my opinion, even though Tampa kind of got carried away a little bit with the goals. But the way they did it, in my opinion, is what's going to carry them to this next round. But who knows? Do they have it? Can they get it done all the way? I mean, I think so. But I'm pulling for the Panthers as well for the Cup race. I really would like to see the Panthers and the Avs, in my opinion, for one matchup. But I've already got my matchup on paper here, who I want it to be. Yeah. I can't believe Minnesota's out. We both had them in the Stanley Cup Finals, which is crazy.
Yeah, my number 2 is Colorado, though.
Yeah, Colorado, I think, is going to go all the way here. But that's an exciting matchup. Can't wait to see Game 2. I think that's Thursday. So when this drops, Game 2 will be out. So we're on par with this one here. Last and certainly not least, the final matchup in the Eastern Conference: Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Rangers. What a matchup. This is going to be a physical matchup. This is going to be a fast matchup. I'm really excited for this one as well. I'm going to go with you first, because we've been doing that. What are we thinking on this matchup here?
Carolina in 7.
Wow.
And I'm going more 7s than 6s this round, obviously, just because of the way the first round went. I'm expecting the best out of everyone.
Right.
The New York Rangers, I think should have demolished the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah.
I really do. And the fact that they let Pittsburgh stay in there is a testament, obviously, to Pittsburgh. But are the Rangers really ready? Their goaltending has been real sketchy.
Okay.
And the Carolina Hurricanes know what it takes to score goals. They're a great team up and down their lineup. A lot of former Rangers on that other side, so it's going to get chippy.
Yeah, it's gonna be a physical battle. I think it's going to be and both these teams, like you said, they have a chip on their shoulder, in my opinion. Canes coming off the big victory. The storm surge is back. The playoffs. The fans are into it. It's an exciting time for the Canes culture. But I got to go Rangers. I had Rangers in 6 scribbled down here, and then with what you just said, I made it Rangers in 7. So I was like, I can't really. I don't see a 4-2. I don't see this happening.
Yeah.
I see a lot of long series here. These guys are going to be tired. It's going to be good. But I got Rangers in 7. Looking forward to that.
So we agree in the West and we disagree in the East.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I noticed we definitely do disagree in the East. And I don't know. I think it's just because the shakeup of what we know is Eastern hockey.
We're almost both not wrong, because these are such great teams. When you get into these final rounds, these are nothing but good hockey teams left.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to just pick and choose.
Man, I'm excited for this matchup, though. I think the Rangers, like we talked about earlier, they've really got to dial in the goaltending. They've got to figure out if it's going to be Shesterkin, Georgiev,
Shesterkin is obviously going to be their guy, but the fact that he's been shaky, if he gets chased out of net, like he did in the first round,
it's a game changer.
It's a game changer. Yeah, exactly. And
Carolina, I think, will be taking advantage of that if that happens.
Yeah, because Carolina's not running with their number one that they had all season. Yeah. And the fact that they've done what they've done, I think that kind of what gave Boston an opportunity to kind of stay in there.
Yeah.
If Freddie was in net for all 7 of those games, it would have been a different story.
I agree, man. And like you said, Carolina's got a hell of a roster coming into this the Stanley Cup Finals, in the Stanley Cup run as well. And they've really been dialed in, and they know what to do.
They're a fun team to watch.
They are, man. They're fast. They're fun. They're kind of they're unpredictable in my opinion as well. Because they can really attack from all angles. Mm-hmm. And once they get in that neutral zone, man, they can really bring on anything they want with the style players they have. They can really get it done.
Yeah, and the Rangers too. I mean, you got guys like Adam Fox, Trouba, Goodrow.
You've got to watch the whole Rangers roster.
Yeah, Miller. They have some talent too. Lafreniere, scoring.
Getting in the mix of the playoff goals, and everyone was calling bust.
Zibanejad has been on another level as well. Panarin too. So
such a dialed in. I feel like Rangers are dialed in. Man.
They are. They are. It's going to be a tough battle. I just like the depth of the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah, can't shake a stick at them and stuff. It's going to be interesting. I'm excited to see that. So let's do a recap right here on round 2. Oilers and Flames. We've picked the Calgary in 7, so we're matched up on that. We got the Avs in 6 for you. I got the Avs in 7 over the Blues. Jumping over the East, like you said, is where we get our differences at. Lightning and Panthers. You've got Florida in 7. I've got Tampa Bay in 7. And then Rangers, Canes. You've got Canes in 7. I've got Rangers in 7. So this is going to be an exciting matchup. So when we did our original bracket, our Men Behind the Mitts bracket over here, you had Minnesota and Florida in 6.
Mm-hmm.
I had Minnesota and the Rangers in 7. So let's go ahead and make our new Stanley Cup pick since Minnesota's out. We'll go ahead and make our new Stanley Cup picks. What do you have on the you got the Avs on the West?
I got the Avs versus Florida.
Wow. Okay.
Florida in 7.
Florida in 7. Wow. All right. I'm going Avs, Rangers. I'm sticking with the Rangers, bud. Rangers in 7. Oh. No. It's funny as shit because like I didn't tell anyone. Like I just had my picks on here. I didn't tell anyone about my picks. And I got the text the other day, and they're like, "Who do you think is going to go?" And I was like, "My pick's off the wall." And everyone was like, "The fucking Rangers!" Like everyone was like that. Like you're really picking the Rangers. I was like, "Yeah, I'm picking the Rangers. I want to see it happen.
Madison Square Garden will be lit.
Mixes up the East Coast, in my opinion, man. It really does mix up the East Coast, and it kind of changes the future of hockey, in my opinion, on the East Coast.
Kind of, sort of, yeah. I think if you really want to see a switch up, you're going to go with the Florida Panthers, though, because this organization hasn't won it all. And it'd be nice to see a new organization win that's never won it. It felt so good for Washington. I'd love to see it help the Florida Panthers continue to grow and Florida really become a hockey state. You have back-to-back Stanley Cup champions in Tampa, and now Florida Stanley Cup champion. Yeah. That's pretty awesome.
Well, you just said it. The state of Florida. Florida's their own thing. They're almost their own country, in my opinion. Yeah. Let's keep this cup up here on the upper East Coast. You know what I'm talking about?
All right. I'm not mad at red states.
No, they're just I fuck with them, but they're wild. You know what I mean? The Florida Man headline will never not be a thing. So I can't wait to see if they win the cup. Can you imagine what's going to happen in Florida?
Wow, craziness.
The swamp critters are going to be coming out, man.
No matter what, though, the rivalry between Tampa and Florida now is just going to get more intense. Oh, yeah, and we have a new battle of Alberta.
There's definitely some gas being poured on that fire, even though it's $10 a gallon. It's going to be exciting to watch. But yeah, I'm really excited for this second round. Can't wait to see what's coming, what it's going to bring us for our divisional matchups, and then our Stanley Cup final. It's going to be really
down
exciting.
To the wire, and we got some really intense hockey coming. These guys are going to leave it all out there.
It's crazy. There's only 8 teams. There's 8 teams left.
Only 8 teams are playing right now in the NHL. It's crazy. You're going to see some of the best hockey you've ever seen. It's the best 8 out there this year.
Then it's down to 4. Then it's down to 2. And then there's 1, baby. There's 1. They're going to be hoisting that mother. So now that we're done with our talk here, the Stanley Cups are already kind of making its rounds. It's been on TBS, it's been the TNT, it's been the ESPN and stuff like that. How do you feel? I just want to one last conversation here. How do you feel about people touching the cup How do you feel?
If you're not in a position that you're ever going to be able to win it like us, I'll touch it.
Right.
Well, I'm not going to play. But if you're like a college guy or a younger person, there's still that small possibility.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
You don't touch it if you can win it. We can't win it.
Right.
We can't win it. We're never going to win it.
I like your take. This was my thing. I like your take on that. I've never even been in the presence of the Stanley Cup. I've never been in the presence of it.
I teared up. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I know what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen.
It's so beautiful, bro.
And that's the thing. I'm just a regular person, and I've got to fly to Toronto to see that or something. You know what I mean? I've got to go out of my way.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm getting at is other people that don't. I'm not going to say respect the cup, but know what it truly takes to win that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know what it truly takes to win that cup. I'm just a fan,
mm-hmm.
but I know what they have to go through the whole road of life, because we started the first half of that. Of course, the goal was always to win a Stanley Cup, and here we are,
mm-hmm.
But it's like to know what goes into just like Pee Wee hockey, mites, and then to see these other guys, just touching the cup. I've never seen anyone pick it up, and like do like an over the head, which I haven't seen.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
But even touching it, and it's like that is the holy grail. That's the hardest trophy.
When I went to see it, I didn't try to like touch it. Right?
Right.
I haven't touched it, but like my perspective on it is like, you know what? It's like say some chick from Team USA or something touched it or something like. Let's be realistic here. They're probably never going to be able to win it. They may never even get that opportunity to be that close to the cup again.
Right.
Take advantage of it.
I get that. But man,
like I saw the thing with Charles Barkley and I can't touch it even though Shaq touched it and things like that. Like, bro, you're never gonna touch it then. So just touch it because it's different. It's different.
Yeah.
If you were a player and you're playing in the AHL or something like that, or East Coast League, you're like, nah, I'm gonna earn that. You played in the NBA, you're retired, you're like 70 years old. Touch the fucking cup.
Right.
Get to feel that history and what that's like.
I can't imagine. Like, I feel like just the life that's on that thing.
Well, obviously, they take off a layer.
Yeah, but I mean,
still,
just the life that's been etched in that cup forever, and some etched out. But it's just crazy.
Chicago.
I don't know if I want to touch it, but I don't know if I could. You know what I mean?
I haven't, but man, it's beautiful to see it up close in person, man. It's so beautiful. Hockey Hall of Fame Canada, Toronto is amazing. Worth the trip.
Yeah, I gotta go. I haven't been. I gotta go. I want to breathe it in.
Well, good luck because Canada is.
Yeah, they're pretty close to us. But that's for a summer episode, folks. I can't wait till we dive back in on the. There's a lot. I've got my long.
A lot to talk about this summer. Summer League, Beer League. Do you grow a playoff beard? Like, there's so much to talk about. Who knows?
I'm always rocking the beard.
Another great episode, though, here from Behind the Mitts.
Yep, I'm excited to continue to continually bring coverage of the playoffs. Man, we've got the top 8 teams in the NHL battling it out. Battle of Florida, Battle of Alberta. The Stanley Cup Finals, man, they're so exciting every year, but it just gets that much better.
Yeah, dude,
every year.
It's intense. It's so exciting. Staying up till 1 a.m. night after night is just killing me. But like, I don't want to miss it. I don't like watching highlights of games that are so.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't
3 overtimes, like no.
Yeah. And it doesn't soak it up when you're watching it. You're watching the flow. It's like, oh my god, they were so. They might not score, but you're not going to get that 2 minutes of straight dominance.
Edge of your seat, you know like, I mean? You don't get that.
They can't show you the whole game.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I agree because this is some of the best hockey we've ever played. Like I said, the engagement of just, random friends on Facebook and over hockey, man, it's such a good thing, to see and to have other people interacting. Like I got a buddy who's an Avs fan. He's like, man, I've been staying up till 1 a.m., just to watch these games. I'm like, that's what it's about. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what it's about. Because believe it or not, they need you. They need you behind that TV, man. And it's something good. But yeah, man, really exciting. We'll have more on round 2 next week. We got a break on Beer League. We got a month off on Beer League. You're still rolling up in St. James. Excited about that for you. Other than that, let's get some pickups in, keep the legs going. We got to play two days back to back. Trying to play a lot of ice lately, really in the ice mood, I tell you. But,
love it.
Yeah, man, I'm loving it. No better time for hockey than right now. Let me tell you. But yeah, man, let's wrap it. Another good episode. I'm here for it.
All right, guys. Well, as always,
be well.
The boys from Men Behind the Mitts just want to say thanks for listening. And as always, be sure to follow us on all your favorite social media outlets at Men Behind the Mitts. Brought to you by Silky Mitts Hockey Club. Support the boys at silkymittshc.com.